Hello, hello, hello. We are live. Welcome to the Meal Prep with the DFAM. I am Steve Drake, and
I'm Ellie Drake.
Ellie Drake is the daughter. Ellie right now is at home in New Hampshire. I'm in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And this is Ellie's show tonight. She is going to show us all things pumpkin. It's going to be awesome. So,
hmm
as some of you know, or the new people don't know, the DFAM Meal Prep, we get together because of it's something that we've done as a family. Brings us closer together, makes sure that we're fed throughout the week, some healthy food, and it really helps us save some money. So the first thing that we do when we do these Sunday shows is we report on some financial goals that we have personally, just to put it out there. So Margot and I are at 7.21% to goal. That's a 4-year goal. So slow but surely, slow but steady. Let's put it that way. My son Stevie is at 57% to goal, and actually his goal is Margot. It's November 1st. We got to talk to him about that. November 1st of this year. And Ellie is at 23.7% to goal. Your goal ends at the end of this year.
Yep.
So now that you've got
Wait,
jobs lined
let me
up.
say it. I wanted to tell everybody.
Oh,
So
okay, go ahead.
the big news this week, which I was so excited about, I got my first ever adult job offer. And I'm going to be a junior data analyst, full time, full bennies and everything.
That's awesome. I'm
Yes,
so
I know.
proud
And
of you.
took a long time, but it felt so good to get that job
Oh,
offer
good.
in my email. So now I get to start putting money back into my savings account,
All
and
right.
I'll be
So
there. Don't worry.
you'll start chipping away at that. And Teddy, who is now back at school, is 100% to goal. And we've been nagging her to figure out what her next goal is. She'll get to it. She'll get to it.
She will.
So that was the end of that. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to Ellie. She's going to go through all the recipes this week. And I'm like you guys, I'm just going to watch her do her thing, and maybe make some of this stuff later. She's got one thing that's a sweet bakery type item that I have to make. But I'm going to hand it over to you, okay?
All right, that
Ooh.
sounds good. So tonight we will be making three dishes, and then I'll be explaining the final one just because it involves baking and it takes a
Mhm.
little bit longer. So tonight I'm making pumpkin pasta sauce, pumpkin bisque, creamy pumpkin bisque, and then a pumpkin smoothie. And all of these dishes are so good, and they use very similar spices for most of them. And the bisque and the pasta are just perfect fall foods that will warm you up as soon as you have them, and they're really easy to make. So, without further ado, I'm going to start with explaining my pumpkin. So,
Yeah,
the
that's
reason,
what I wanted you to like. Why
yeah,
this whole thing started for a fun reason, but go ahead.
yeah. So, the reason, sorry, I have a little glare. So this whole thing started because I went to a pumpkin fest in Milford, New Hampshire, which is a little bit southwest of me, and we went there with my boyfriend's coworkers, and I wasn't sure, and I wanted two things when I was there. I wanted to get a pumpkin and then a scarecrow, and it took us 3 days to get the scarecrow because we didn't know. I didn't do it on Friday, and then Saturday they closed at 2, and we got there at 3, and then finally on Sunday I was able to make my scarecrow, and it took us probably like an hour and a half to make this perfect scarecrow with a beer belly and a hat and everything, and it was so fun. But anyway, the pumpkin. I was sitting on the kitchen floor here watching Hocus Pocus and carving my pumpkin. I made a cat, but unfortunately, I carved it a little too early. I got a little too overexcited, so I had to throw that pumpkin away last night because it was attracting fruit flies. And I saw in it that we had so much pumpkin guts, and I used to just waste it as a kid. I was like, I'm an adult now. Let's figure something out what we can do with it. There's so much in there. I got two full Tupperwares full of this, and for my pictures that I took, I used the first one, and today I'm going to use this one, and it's all fresh. So I separated the seeds from the pumpkin guts. That's what I'm going to call them. I know it's not too pretty, but that's what I will call them. And for the seeds, I'll explain what I did with those later. But for the guts, I just kind of washed it a little bit in salt water and then poured it through a colander and then put all of the guts into a blender and pureed it. So now we're left with this orangey deliciousness. And I'm so excited to share these recipes because first of all, they're really easy, and the pumpkin is so fresh that it will taste So much like pumpkin. It's really good. Okay. So
I think that's awesome you did that. We always loved doing pumpkins as a family, didn't we? That was a big deal.
It was a big deal. And I hadn't done it like all through college. And
you didn't?
No, I never did it. And probably I didn't even do it like probably later years in high school.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just really fun to feel like a kid again and do those fall activities that you love. Smell the fall air. It was finally cool for a couple of days, so it felt really like fall. I was wearing a flannel and then carve a pumpkin and just be so happy about it.
I used to love having a container of pumpkin seeds in the kitchen all the time that you just grab a few and eat them. I love that. That's so fun. All right, so this is, and what you're doing right now is not something you learned from us. This is something you totally did, because we used to just throw all the guts away. And it's not just guts, it's also the scraping of the wall to clean it.
Exactly.
So some of the pumpkin rind, I guess you call it, and then all of the
innards. Yeah.
But I think it's so cool that you're using this instead of, going to the store and buying puree. I don't even know how you do it.
I know. It's nice. So it was a learning experience for me too. I just wanted to try something new with it because I love pumpkin bread. That was my big thing. I was like, I can't make that much pumpkin bread. I'm gonna hate it.
Well, the soup that you made is also like a squash soup that Mom makes, really similar, and I love that soup. It's really good. We always used to have that for Thanksgiving. So what's the first one you're gonna make? And I'll put the banner up.
I'm gonna start with the pasta sauce.
Pasta sauce. Okay.
So for this pasta sauce, it's really easy. I'm not boiling noodles, but if you're making this pasta sauce, it happens really, really fast just because everything thickens. So you can probably want to boil your noodles while you're making it, but I'm just going to save this for later in this week. Put it in a Tupperware and save the pasta sauce so I can use it when I run out of my chili. So you want to start off with, sorry, my hand's a little wet, with butter, 1 tablespoon of butter, and you want to put it in a nice big saucepan. Get that all heated on medium-high heat and let it
Every great recipe starts with butter.
Every great recipe starts with butter. We never had butter growing up, so I always use extra virgin olive oil, and then I realized butter kind of tastes really good with things. So I started using that more. And then
we were watching out for you.
Yeah, it's true. Thank you so much. I don't think we ever had real full sticks of butter. We always had Smart Balance. So
it was easier for us to cook like that. When I was growing up, we always had butter. It was like a thing. It had to be butter.
That's now what we do. Like if butter is one of those things that you always have to have in the house. It's like onions or orange juice for us. Or garlic, yeah.
Or some type of red wine.
Exactly. You get me, Dad. So I'm gonna let the butter melt, and then you add a little bit of a tablespoon of flour. And I just got where did they go? Oh, I just got these from the grocery store. I hadn't had tablespoons or teaspoons or anything, so I was kind of eyeballing it. It didn't really work. But now I can get the exact amount. So we're gonna do there you go. 1 tablespoon of flour, so it can thicken up the pasta sauce. We'll do that. Drop that in. And then you're gonna whisk together the butter and the flour until it becomes golden brown and there's no chunks in it. So you wanna get it kind of fast so it doesn't get too hot. And I'll move my camera around so I can show everybody the process. So now that it is golden brown, I'm getting my frozen garlic. I love this stuff. I can't believe I didn't know it was a thing. And this frozen garlic has been a lifesaver. My fingers don't have to smell like garlic after I chop it. And it just comes in these perfect little cubes that are each, I think they're a clove and a half of garlic each.
I've never seen that before.
It's so nice. It's at Target. And you just pop it out with your fingers like this.
I don't shop for groceries at Target, so that's why I've never seen it. That's cool.
The reason why we started shopping for groceries at Target is because you can order it online and then drive up and they just deliver it in your car.
They bring it outside.
Yeah. And I realized that you save so much money if they just give it to you and you order it online. You don't have to scamper through the halls or the aisles and keep putting things in your cart. And it's like a free service they offer, which is awesome. So I'm putting those in.
Good public service.
Yes, it is. It's really nice. So let them melt for a second. They're probably not as good as fresh garlic. Obviously, everything fresh is better, but it saves time, and I haven't noticed any drastic differences. So I'm whisking or mixing everything together right now, letting the garlic melt because it is frozen.
So it's like garlic and butter mixed together?
No, it's garlic and water, and then they put oil in it too.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that is all good. Here I can show you. Looks like this. So just
Okay.
3 ingredients in so far. And now we're gonna add the milk. Where's my milk? Here's my milk. So the milk you put in, whole milk is best because it keeps it nice and thick, and you want to do 2 cups of it. All right, there we go. Into my milk too. And then you want to quickly mix everything together, so you don't have any chunks of garlic that might come directly to you. And smooth it all together. And then you're going to let this simmer here for a couple of minutes so everything's able to combine relatively easy, and so it becomes a nice thick consistency, and then the milk simmers and thickens up with the flour and butter and garlic.
Sweet.
Yes, it is nice. It smells so good. I love garlic. I love it so much. Okay, so I'm gonna let that simmer there, and while we are waiting, I'm gonna start chopping things for the next recipe. So I'm gonna start chopping an onion, and we can just chat about fall, because fall is my favorite season. And unfortunately, we get like 3 days of real fall, and then it was about 77 degrees again, which is such a bummer.
It's back to, what's that called? It's well, it used to be called Indian summer. I don't know if they call it something else now.
Yeah, it probably has been.
They probably do.
Had a quick name change. But the trees are still turning, and it's so pretty here.
Teddy came home and she said that it totally looks like fall here, and it was pretty, and it was like things did cool off, and you know the sun, the light starts to change at the end of the day, and she totally got into like the fall spirit.
Yeah.
And then when I took her back to East Lansing today, we pulled in and she said, "Oh my gosh, it's fall here too." It's just like she just needed to, I don't know, have a moment to realize that it's starting to be fall out, because it was pretty.
That's what I always say, because I lived in Michigan and I went to school at University of Michigan, and I never felt the fall, the feelings of fall like you get, like the.
Are you kidding me? Oh, Mom and I love the fall in Ann Arbor. It was the coolest. But then
that's because I didn't get a fall because I was stuck inside. I mean, I definitely could have if I decided to go outside. But I was stuck inside, and everything was closed down because of COVID for 2 years.
Yeah.
So, well, not 2 years, but you know what I'm getting at.
Fall is
there
awesome.
was no like tailgating or football games my senior year, which was a bummer, and that kind of makes everything feel more like fall. You can like go out on a Saturday and you can slowly gain your layers. Like you start with a nice tank top, and you go to a t-shirt, and you go to a long sleeve shirt, and you put.
I just put a vest on today, and it felt so good. Right, jeans weather, jeans and sweatshirt weather.
I know.
We loved that because it was like a month long, and then after that, it was like 27 months of winter.
Yeah, winter seems
in Ann
never
Arbor.
ending.
It was terrible.
The first snow is always the best, and after that, you get sick of it. And this summer was so hot. It's so hot that I know I always said I can't wait for it to snow. I can't wait for it to cool down. And then once it starts snowing, because New England winters are really similar to Michigan winters.
Are they?
Yeah, that's what people say.
I hope you have a beautiful winter, because you're so close to so many cool wintry spots.
Yeah, we really are. It's gonna be really cool. Jack needs to get his ski pass so he can go skating. His parents brought his snowboard with them when they came to visit.
Oh wow!
So he has all this
it's
gear.
for real.
I know. But I'm a resort skier, not a backwoods skier or snowboarder. Prefer the après ski and
Oh, you do? So you could just wait and then meet him?
yeah, I'll do like a couple runs, be really cold, and I'll do some apple cider.
That's fine.
It is fun. All right, so onions are chopped, and then this looks really good, thick. It's sizzling. I love nonstick pans. This is really random, but nonstick pans with a gas stove, it is so nice because with my metal pans I used to have, you cooked so unevenly on the electric stove top, and then these you could just see it bubbling evenly, and it's so satisfying.
Right.
I never knew that's something I get excited about, but here we go. Okay. Now we're gonna dig into my lovely pumpkin guts. It's so good.
It's pumpkin puree now.
Yeah, I like guts. I
Special.
think it's funny. Put a nice heaping cup of that in. And then I'm gonna mix it all together. Oh, I love the smell of pumpkin.
This is still the pumpkin pasta sauce, right?
Yeah, I just was chopping,
Okay.
preparing things for the next. Okay, so I'm mixing that. And the recipe says to use a whisk, but I can't stand the sound of whisk against metal, so I'm refusing. Can't stand it. And I think it's bad for nonstick pans or something. I don't want to get
It
yelled
is. You should always use a wooden spoon or a plastic spoon on nonstick.
Yeah. All right. So that lovely pumpkin juice or puree is getting in there. Now we're going to add the 3 ounces of cream cheese. I also think that anything with cream cheese in the recipe is absolutely amazing. I love cream cheese. I think it's my favorite type of cheese.
I do too.
Okay, so we're going to chop that.
I'm looking at your recipe so I can go along with it.
All right. And then we're going to put that around so it starts to melt. And then here, the next part is where we get the nice spices. The spices are the best part of this, besides the pumpkin. Pumpkins needs to be accented by spices sometimes. I'm gonna put the cream cheese back in the fridge.
I wonder if recipes like pumpkin-based recipes or squash-based recipes, do you even taste the pumpkin or squash? Is it just all the other stuff you add to it?
No, so that's what I was thinking, because in the past I hadn't really tasted the pumpkin or squash with like mom's soup that she used to make. It was so good that you didn't really taste any of the butternut squash. And then pumpkin bread that you buy at like Starbucks, you don't taste the pumpkin. It just tastes like cinnamon, nutmeg,
Right.
all those good things. But these recipes, since the pumpkin is so fresh,
You
and
do taste it?
you taste it a lot. So I had to add, because I prefer more spice flavors than the pumpkin flavors. But I still wanted that hint of pumpkin on it. So I had to add more spices to some of them. But that's just my taste. So now I'm chopping the sage. And sage, I actually added sage to mom's the Bisque recipe that I did, and it really tasted good. So I might have to amend the recipe a little bit.
Okay.
It tasted really.
We can change that in the email that goes out to everyone. Is maybe try sage.
Yeah. It smells so good. Okay. So we just added a tablespoon of fresh sage, chopped it, washed it, then chopped it. Now I'm going to add a pinch of cinnamon. I got the cinnamon sticks, so I had to ground them in my blender. And apparently, you just want to be aware of this, that spices will strip the clear coating off of your blender, so it'll be all foggy. Just a heads up.
Did you know you bought the sticks, or is that all they had?
That's all they had. Everywhere is out of cinnamon and nutmeg. So I added a little bit.
Spices are just bad right now.
Yeah, and plus it's a really big spice season, especially cinnamon.
Cinnamon season.
And now let me see if I can move this over. There you go. So now I have my, So I have my nutmeg. I'm using my
microplane zester
just to give some of it over.
It's like you're doing ASMR right now. It sounds so cool. I know.
Once you're done, you mix it all together. All right. Put that
Don't make fun of the ASMRs.
I will never understand ASMR. It makes me cringe. It goes like straight to the back of my head, and it just raises every single
I
time.
actually can watch it for a long time, like too long.
A lot of people can. That's why it's so
Teddy,
popular.
so the first time I ever learned about ASMR, of course, Teddy showed me a video. What's this?
It's
Cayenne pepper?
Yeah,
Okay,
just a
so the little
little
cayenne. So she showed me a video of someone from Japan that made coffee drinks, and it was ASMR. So they would make it and pour it over ice, and at first we were like laughing, and then all of a sudden we're silent, and the next thing you know, we're watching it for like 25 minutes in complete silence. Like, wow.
That's so funny.
And I think that's the point. That's how it's supposed to calm you down.
That's true. All right. So my cream cheese was not room temperature, like the recipe says, so it's still taking a little bit longer to melt.
Okay.
But it smells so good.
So what kind of pasta is best for this?
I used angel hair pasta in the picture just because that's my favorite noodle. I like the way it tastes and the thinness of it. But I think like Farfalle pasta would be really good. Even just regular fettuccine noodles would be really good. Probably not macaroni, unless you wanted to add more cheese to it to make it like really thick and creamy.
You could make pumpkin macaroni and cheese.
Definitely, that was one of the things I was thinking of, but it's too rich for me. I know I'm getting old because things are too spicy and too rich. I'm like, can't handle that. And I know I'm getting old because I needed to get new sheets because mine were super old. And I also got queen size sheets for my double bed. I need to get new sheets. And Jack went to go buy them at Bed Bath & Beyond. I was so excited because I got a coupon in the mail, used it. And I was so happy after I washed them, I put the sheets on. I was like, wow, this is something I would never be that happy about. But I'm so happy.
Satisfying, right?
They're so crisp and clean, and I made my bed really well. I washed all the pillows and everything. I was like, this is the life right here. So
achievements.
That's what it's like being an adult.
You're doing so many new things in your life right now. Firsts, lots of firsts.
A lot of firsts, and it's fun to do them, especially with somebody that you really care about and you can like share it with. It's really fun.
So did Jack absolutely love new sheets?
I just put them on today. It was I think he's gonna like them because he was so excited. He gave me a little Bed Bath & Beyond haul. He pulled up the thing and he's like, Ellie, 800 count sheets. That's so many threads.
800. That's so many.
We were so excited because my other ones I think were from IKEA, and there was a tear in it because they were just like worn down and stretched out. And this, I put it over the side and it fit perfectly. Everything was nice and crisp and tight. It's like, wow. Can't wait to go to bed tonight.
Grown up pleasures.
Yeah, I know, it's insane. All right, so this is just about done. I'm gonna do a little tasty taste so I can see if I need to add salt and pepper.
Is she cutting out?
A teeny bit, but not bad.
Are you adding these links in YouTube?
I did. I'm not doing it again.
I'm gonna add a little bit of salt and then like a couple dashes of pepper, and then it's gonna be perfect. And if you also like it more creamy or anything, then add more add more cream cheese or do whatever makes you happy. You know what? It's your life, and these
yum. So what is this pasta sauce like? It's kind of like an Alfredo like creamy sauce, right?
Okay. Exactly. It's creamy and it's thick. And here, I can show you. And you can see the pumpkin in it, so it has a little bit of an orange.
So it does have an orange hue. Cool.
Huge right here. So that's what it
food
looks
cam.
like.
Oh yeah.
So you can see the pumpkin and see the sage and then the specks of spices and everything.
That sounds so good. And you could make this and just put it in the fridge too, right? And
exactly
serve it later. Okay.
All right. So first recipe all done. Easy enough. Then you just boil noodles and
creamy pumpkin pasta sauce. That is a good one.
And then you serve it with some Parmesan cheese on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
Bon appetit. Next, I'm using a pot because My pan is currently being used.
Is this next one the pumpkin bisque?
Yes, we're doing the pumpkin bisque right now.
Okay.
All right. So this one uses extra virgin olive oil instead of butter because I know my mom made it because she loved extra virgin. She loves extra virgin olive oil.
EVOO.
EVOO. We're gonna add a couple tablespoons of that.
I'm reading through the ingredients. This is a lot of ingredients.
I know it seems like it, but you just basically blend it all together, and it tastes really, really good. It looks intimidating because when mom said to grab her butternut squash soup recipe, bisque recipe, I looked at all the recipes. I looked at all the ingredients. I was like, it's too much for me. But once I made it, it was quick. All right, clean this up.
So if someone has not ever seen or is new, you'll get. See, I got my phone. This is what our emails look like. So, I'll get to it. You can see that with that we get a little write-up, but then you'll get all of the recipes and ingredients in there. Right now we're working on the pumpkin bisque right there. A little prep, how to do it, and then what the finished thing should look like.
Yep.
Very cool. So I'll put that thing up again so people can see where to go get on the list to receive these emails. There's two ways you can do it. You can either text family to 616-344-4401, or just as easy, go to www.dfam.life and just give us your email address. We will never, ever, ever give your email address to anyone. It's just for us to send you goodness about cooking food so we can stay in communication.
All right, so now we're on the pumpkin bisque, and I let the olive oil heat up for a little bit. And I learned this trick from, I don't even remember where I learned it. I think it's from one of my meal services that I got in college. But it said if you put wood in oil and it starts to bubble around, it's ready to, you can add your next ingredients. So I did that, used the end of the spoon, and it started boiling around it.
And it works? That's
And it
new.
works.
I just learned something.
You're welcome. So I put the curry and the cumin in the olive oil,
Okay.
and I'm gonna let it saute for a little bit until it gets nice goldeny brown color. Stir it constantly. And while I'm doing that, I gotta chop my apple. So it's a nice large Granny Smith apple.
Mm-hmm.
I do not have a apple cutter, so I have to use my hands. Which is fine. It's fine. When I started making this on Friday, it smelled just so much like Thanksgiving because the wine and the apple combined, it reminded me of the cranberry sauce. So good.
When mom started making this soup the first time, she started with, such strange ingredients, like a Granny Smith apple, and then I don't know, all the other stuff that, with onions, and you're sauteing it.
Curry
and curry, but when it's done, it is such a good soup.
It's so really warm. Yeah, it's really good. All right. Chop that. Chop. All right. I need a couple, like a little bit longer with the. All right, that should be ready. All right, and then I'm putting the apple.
So it's one full Granny Smith apple.
A little too hot.
That's
one
peeled
full Granny Smith apple.
And chopped.
Oh yeah, it's supposed to be peeled. Oh well.
You didn't peel it?
I did not. I like it best.
You like the
Well, you blend it all, so it doesn't matter.
I know. Okay.
I stand by that.
1 cup of onion chopped.
1 garlic clove.
This is the one that has red wine in it too. That was the other weird thing.
Yep. Oh, there it is. All right.
I tried to put a link to that Target garlic in the comments, and it kind of went a little crazy.
Thank you. All right, I need to add more curry to this. Too clean.
Mom likes your organized kitchen.
Mom
She thinks
does
that she likes your organized kitchen. Yes.
good. I learned from the best.
No, that's nice. Not me. She's the one that taught us to clean as you go.
Clean as you go, exactly. It makes everything so much easier.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's softening. I was gonna do something, but I forgot what I was gonna do. What did I notice? Wait.
You got to put tomato paste, flour.
Yeah, I just did a couple. Oh, this is what I was gonna do. So, 1 second. So this recipe calls for ginger, and
Yep.
they didn't have fresh ginger at the store, so I got the frozen ginger. Same thing as the garlic.
Well, they have. Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, so it's just little. It is just ginger, water, lemon, and sea salt. Just in one of
Awesome.
these. So I'm gonna put it in now because you're supposed to put the ginger in at the end of the recipe when it's all blended, and you're supposed to take the ginger roots out. But since I like a lot of ginger taste, I'm gonna put just 1 cube of this during these ingredients are softening, just so I don't forget it and I get that ginger blended up with all the other ingredients.
Okay.
So that's what I was gonna do. So these are looking good and soft. Now it's time for, oh, it smells so yummy. Now time for the red wine. So you're gonna use half a cup of red wine.
What is that? Dark Horse. I love Dark Horse.
It's my favorite red wine. It's cheap.
But it's good.
It is really yummy.
They've got a good story. That's why I like
That's
it.
a little more than a half a cup, but we'll
It's
just
okay.
reduce it. So you add that. We're gonna reduce it for a couple minutes, and while this is reducing, I might as well make the smoothie because the smoothie takes 2 seconds and it's really, really yummy.
And you like this all goes in the blender and you blend it, right? That's how it gets
For the
smooth.
soup, yeah.
Okay.
So that is going to be reducing for a little bit, and I can just make the smoothie. So unfortunately, I have a very
We know this. You told us the story. It's the cinnamon stick that destroyed it.
cinnamon and the cloves destroyed it. So, but I'll just make it. It's so yummy.
So I'm gonna switch to
Yep. We're just
pumpkin
gonna switch gears
smoothie.
for a second. So you're gonna use a cup of milk. I'm just eyeballing. Cup of milk.
So Jack is gonna get a treat while he's watching football, right?
Yep. A cup of milk, half a cup, oh my gosh, of pumpkin puree.
Half a cup. Okay. Well, that's a good amount of pumpkin
It
to go
is.
in this.
So that just went in. Half a cup of Greek yogurt. Did you guys know Stonyfield is made in New Hampshire? Just a fun fact.
No, I didn't. That's cool. They're a huge.
Londonderry.
They're Stonyfield organic products, right?
Yep.
So they're huge, and I think they really grew when Walmart started carrying them in their stores.
Probably. They're really good. I love their Greek yogurt.
You say you ruined your. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Mom. I can't hear. So now we're gonna go for the tablespoon of maple syrup. I'm just eyeballing all this, you guys. I'm tired. It's a long week. Looks good enough. Plus, it's a smoothie. You can do whatever you want to a smoothie. Now we do pumpkin pie spice. Just a couple, what does it say, quarter of a teaspoon. Good enough.
Mom was just asking about your blender, and I had to explain to her what happened.
Okay. And then we're gonna use some of my blended cinnamon. It's okay. And now we're gonna do some vanilla extract. Oh no, where's my vanilla extract? There she is. I accidentally, I opened this when I got it, and of course it exploded all over my hand. And out of pure habit, I went to go lick my hand because it smells so good. I looked down, I was like, it tastes so bad.
No, not so good.
No, not so good. A little bit of vanilla.
Oh, that looks so
Perfect.
good. All right, I've got some health benefits of pumpkin. You ready?
Let me put the banana in and blend, then I'll mute myself
All right.
and you can explain
Okay.
the health benefits. Give me 1 second. So I don't have a frozen banana because I don't have any
Also,
yucky ones.
the recipe says frozen. Okay.
So this is a regular banana, but I'm gonna put ice in it. Ice in the smoothie,
Okay.
so it gets like a nice cool temperature.
That is really yummy.
All right.
Milk, pumpkin puree, Greek yogurt, maple syrup, cinnamon, vanilla extract, and frozen banana. Yum.
All right. Oh god, I hope this doesn't explode. All right, let's pray. All right, I'm muting myself. You give them the health.
All right, and I will tell everyone some benefits of. In addition to beta, I'm reading from, what is this? WebMD. In addition to beta carotene, pumpkins offer vitamin C, vitamin E, iron, and folate, all of which strengthen your immune system. More pumpkin in our diet can help your immune cells work better and ward off germs. Boy, that sounds familiar. It sounds like that's something that we could use right now. Right? There was something else that I wanted to read. Ellie, you missed it.
What?
So, pumpkin has. Here,
Dad,
I'll say
I
it
heard
again.
you. I have my headphones on. I'm just muted.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, thank you for making us so healthy. I always think of pumpkins and I'm like, God, they're such huge vegetables. What are they good for? But I suppose back in the day, they would really eat them like other gourds.
Yeah, this is so good, you guys.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Oh, it's cute. I like your ball jars.
Okay, that's really, really yummy. It tastes different than the first time I make it. I think it's because I added more Greek yogurt. Okay, and this is still reducing, so because we have a little bit of extra time, I am going to make a nice little pumpkin. I know it is pumpkin spice whipped cream.
Oh, you are right now?
Yeah, super easy.
Okay.
So I have the 2 smoothies right here, really good, nice and cold. And I'm going to add heavy whipping cream. And then, oh, it smells so good. Vanilla. Okay. And then pumpkin pie spice, a lot of it, not too much though. Let's say like a teaspoon.
Okay.
And then some more cinnamon.
We need to get you some real cinnamon powder stuff.
I keep every time I go to the store, I try to buy it, but they're all out.
I went with when I took Teddy back to school, I took her for breakfast and she got pumpkin spice pancakes.
She loves sugar. Oh, I forgot. And then I have to add maple syrup to this too.
And they were really good.
Oh, yeah, she loves sugar.
She does.
All right, and then so it's all in my blender bottle.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna mute myself and just blend it for like 30 seconds.
This is a bonus recipe from Ellie. I guess you could put this on like a coffee drink. You could put it on if you make pumpkin pie. That would be awesome. Like pumpkin spice whipped cream on top of pumpkin pie. What else could you put it on? You could put it on pancakes like we saw today. You could just eat it with a spoon. Like if you're depressed over something, you just go and sit on the floor of the kitchen and get out the whipped cream and just eat it with a wooden spoon. You could do that. Let's see this now. Did it whip? Oh my gosh, that's so good. Oh, nice. You got to unmute so we can hear you. I need to hear the ASMR of the whip.
Sorry, I
cream.
did it until it stopped. I stopped seeing the liquid go, and it just kind of made the noise that says there's no more liquid in there. And it's nice, fluffy whipped cream. I probably could have done it for a little bit longer, but it's still really, really good. You could definitely eat it while you're sitting on the
You're
floor.
also using like a smoothie blender, not like a real blender.
I know. I need to
Oh,
get
right
rid of
on
that.
top. Nice.
Yeah, so nice and nice. And this would be really good with everything you said, like coffee, pumpkin pie, it'd be really, or pumpkin cheesecake or something. And it just makes like a nice little topping that like thickens it up.
Yum.
That's so good. And I just use probably like a quarter of a cup, not even that much, of heavy whipping cream, and I have so much.
Whipping cream. Okay. Is it called heavy whipping cream or heavy cream?
Heavy whipping cream.
Heavy whipping cream. And then you're supposed to take it and whip it.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, that takes too long. Oh, it's so good. I'm just eating the rest with my spoon. Okay.
All right, so what's in process right now? Pumpkin bisque, right?
Yep. So now we only have one more. Hi, Maria. I miss you. All right. Now we only have one more. I'm sorry. Everything tastes so good. Okay.
Wait, are you done with the bisque, or are you going to do an update on the bisque?
No, I'm doing it. So the wine was reducing.
Okay.
And it looks like it's reduced enough where I can add the. Oh, it smells like the cranberry sauce. Smells so good. So I can add the tomato paste and the flour, so everything gets nice thick, and then you get 3 tablespoons of tomato paste. So 3, and then what is the flour, Dad? It's like.
It's little. Let me look for you. Hold on. Flour is it's more than I thought. 3 tablespoons of flour.
Okay. All right, I'm mixing in the tomato paste right now, and everything. So the wine is reduced, so everything has just gotten absorbed into the green apple, onions, garlic, ginger, and so it's basically no liquid left. It's just kind of looks like red apples and onions. And then I just am mixing the tomato paste in, so it's becoming thicker. And now I'm doing here, I can show you in a second. Let me just add the flour. So we're doing 3 tablespoons. And I'm using regular flour. I think we use gluten-free flour in the recipe on my mom's website.
Yeah.
But since I'm not gluten-free, I use regular flour. All right, and now I'm going to mix it all together so it becomes nice and thick. It looks kind of like mush. I'll show you guys in one second. It looks like mush, but everything goes in a blender, so it's fine. So that's what it looks like right now. It's just.
Oh my gosh, it looks red. Does it look red, or is it the?
It is.
Oh, that looks right. That looks totally right, because you still have to put all of the veggie broth in, right? I can't hear you.
I accidentally muted myself. So now I'm gonna go grab my normal blender, bad boy. I don't know. I do not know how old this is, but it's not. It's an old one. Okay.
It's an oldie but a goodie. So is it dark out right now in New Hampshire?
It gets dark at 6:30 here. Yeah, it's insane.
It's it's 6:44 and the sun's still going down.
Yeah, last night Jack and I were looking out the window and it was like 6:20 and it was pitch black and we're like, what the heck? We didn't sign up for this. Okay, so for this, I didn't make. Actually, no, this will be fine. So you want to spoon. I'm spooning. I'll just spoon the whole thing in. I'm spooning all of the contents of my pot into the blender.
Mm-hmm.
Turn off my flame. Make sure you get all that goodness off of the spoon. Okay. And then you are going to add the pumpkin. I'm just going to use the rest of it. Add it into the blender. Ooh. And then I'm going to blend this all together quickly.
Okay.
I'm going to mute myself.
Go. That thing just stopped. Oh, it is blending. Okay. There she goes. We're good.
All right, so that's all blended. So right now
Okay.
it's just pumpkin puree and then the contents of the saute piece aspect of it. And now we add 1 cup of sour cream. Where's my sour cream?
And then 32 ounces of vegetable broth.
Mm-hmm.
I love using that kind of
Sour cream. I remember Bubby telling the story of when you introduced her to that, and she's like, "It's the best thing ever." She's so excited.
You can use it all the time. All right, veggie broth.
Veggie broth.
So is one of those 32 ounces? Yeah. Okay.
So I'm not doing the whole thing because I didn't have a lot of pumpkin left, so I just did about 3/4 of it. Close it, and then let me see this.
Go.
I can do this. I'm sorry.
All right. Making soup. It's bisque. I should look up the difference between bisque and soup. All right, you ready? BISQUE.
All right. I feel like bisque is like, I feel like soup's like the umbrella term for a lot of different soups. And then bisque is like the thicker soups with no chunks in it. Chowders have like chunks in it.
You're right about that. Oh my gosh.
All right, so now we have a bunch, like an entire blender full, and I'm gonna pour it in the same pot I use.
Okay.
And it's
Oh, that looks so good.
Smooth. And I'm gonna turn the heat on medium low, or medium actually. And then let me see, I have to do something else. I'm gonna add nutmeg on top of it, and then I'm gonna let it.
More nutmeg, or did you not put nutmeg in yet?
I haven't put nutmeg in. That was for the.
Oh, okay, that was the other thing. Okay.
Yeah.
So nutmeg, and then you also, are you gonna put more ginger in?
Nope, I added. I know. I added
put
ginger
enough in.
Yep. So there's that.
And then you have a garnish of cream cheese and a garnish of thyme sprig.
Yeah, and for the little pumpkin I made on top, I don't know if everybody noticed it was a pumpkin. It's supposed to be.
No, I have to see it. Look
at
you.
But I added a pumpkin to the top of the pasta and to the top of the soup. And I just did that. I put in the cream cheese in a plastic bag and cut the end and just used it as like a piping bag.
Cute.
All right, so now I'm gonna let that simmer and get all warm. Ooh, and it tastes really, really good, you guys. Okay, and now we're all done. 10 minutes left. Awesome. But I can talk about my muffins I made.
Oh yeah, so you're not gonna make the muffins because they take some time. You're gonna show them off.
Yeah, and I just need 2 dozen muffins. So these are my muffins, and they are so, so good. I think using the fresh pumpkin to it made them a lot moister, and they came out perfectly. I don't think I've ever made muffins by myself before, but they came out. You can see they're yellow, they're orange in color. Let me try them.
They look so good.
I know, they're so, so good. Jack normally doesn't like pumpkin, but he tried them and he's like, these are really, really good. So they're orange in color. You can see all of the spices in it. You can see the cloves and the cinnamon that I had to ground up, and it's all on top, and it tastes so, so good. So I would suggest making these, and also if you want to make them into like a cupcake thing, you can make some like cream cheese frosting with them with some pumpkin spice on it. So those are really good.
Yum.
These are my favorite thing that I made so far, and I think the soup's my second favorite.
Good job.
So that's really good. And then since we're done and we have all three of the dishes made, we have our, let's go through them. We just showed our muffins.
Yep.
We have our nice cold smoothies that you can make at breakfast or for an after school treat or whatever. Really good, sweet. All the ingredients are really simple and they're decently healthy. We have our pasta sauce, which is thickened up a lot.
Ooh, yum.
And you can eat that for a nice lunch or dinner. And then we have our
Soup or bisque.
Bisque.
Pumpkin bisque.
Which is really, really good. So I'm probably going to have the pumpkin bisque for dinner tonight and save the pasta for tomorrow for lunch or something. But so we used all of my huge pumpkin's guts. But you have the pumpkin seeds left, and everybody loves just chewing on pumpkin seeds during the fall. So last week when I carved my pumpkin, I had 2 different kinds of pumpkin seeds. So we just have your normal oil and salt, which I boiled the pumpkin seeds in salt water for a little bit, and then put some olive oil, and then put them in the oven at 450 for about 20 minutes. Keep my eye on them so until they're golden brown. I might have over salted these, but they're still really yummy. Just a nice salty treat. And then my next one, I don't know how. I think my mom used to make them, but these are my favorite. I use soy sauce, or you can use tamarind sauce. But you just soak the pumpkin seeds for about 30 minutes in the soy sauce, and you do the exact same thing. Put them in the oven at 450 and let them get all crispy, and they're going to turn dark brown. These aren't burnt. These are just covered in all the soy sauce.
Oh, those look so good. We used to make I don't know. We used to make almonds, I think, with that recipe.
We did.
Those are probably awesome.
Good job. You have so many, so I just put them in our snack cupboard, and Jack and I will just go in and take them out in the ball jars and chew on them forever. Craving something salty.
Good job, Alibaba.
You got the pretty side. You got the kitty cat that I made, and you got the food side, so your entire family can be happy.
And I've never cooked with pumpkin. You taught me everything I know about cooking with pumpkins.
I am here to help people learn because this was my first time cooking with pumpkin too, and might as well do it on TV so I don't mess it up that bad.
Right on. Well, that's awesome. Is that it? Is there anything else you want to say to wrap it up?
Everybody be safe. I hope you guys all have beautiful falls. And it's important to take time and enjoy fall. Even if you just have 15 minutes to go outside and walk, take time to look at the trees and take it all in so you can take a moment of peace instead of thinking about the next thing. Just be in the moment for a second. And that's what makes me enjoy fall so much, because you have beautiful scenery around you. So take the time to enjoy the beautiful scenery, because it often goes overlooked. That's what happened to me in college, and I didn't enjoy it as much.
I love that. I love that. All right. Well, thank you for doing all this, Ellie. I know you worked hard to do this. I really appreciate it. Mom appreciates it. And I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. And those of you that watch it after the fact on YouTube or Facebook in video form, enjoy it. And make sure you join our DFAM network, where we're sharing these recipes on a weekly basis. And that's it. Everyone have a wonderful, happy, safe fall.
Bye.
All right. Thanks, Allie Bell. Love you.
I love you too.
Bye.
Bye.